This is the Jim and Terry Show, coming to you from downtown, not so sunny, very sleety. I was going to say snowy, but the snow was in the air, but not on the ground.
And who are you?
I'm the Terry of the Jim and Terry Show, and opposite me is...
The Jim of the Jim and Terry Show. Yes, it is, and I'm glad I could be here with you.
Jim doesn't have a padded seat, so he's going to be squirming every
and I
once
also don't have a radio voice or a radio face.
Actually, you do very well, my friend. Let's remember that our vision for the podcast is that we don't have the faces for TV.
Yeah, we still have to make sure you sell your house, get yourself a bigger area,
bigger studio.
And we got to get back on video when we can position the camera where we look gorgeous.
Well, let me tell you, I was up at my brother's cottage, and he has a new structure. I'll call it an outbuilding, but it looked like maybe 8 by 10. Nice. This is 9 by 6, so that would be...
This is 9 by 6. It feels like it's 8 by 4.
We come in here and we squish our shoulders to get in. Yeah, anyway, it was a nice building, nice siding, wood siding, peaked roof, and I thought, if I just insulated that and had a little heater and found an extension cord to run to it, that would be a great environment for a studio.
Yeah.
It would get rid of the drain pipe. I don't know if our ones and twos can hear that drain.
They can't hear
the
that.
Toilet flush, and hopefully we've got enough distance from that pipe that they're not hearing it. But there you go. I've been looking for buildings.
Well, it's funny. My friend is selling a house in Cornwall, and it's an older house, but it's a bungalow. And in the basement, there's a cold cellar, and it's 12 by 12.
Wow.
This is a cold cellar, basically.
Yeah, it's 9 by 6.
And people are kind of like, I like the house, but it's
what's
kinda
that?
Creepy.
What is that cold cellar?
But I'm thinking, okay, you got to talk to your real estate agent here and say, what a perfect studio that would make.
Yes, we're talking about cinder block.
Oh, yeah. So just like this, only 12 by 12.
Yeah. So to make this a little bit more studio-like, we'd put in some strapping and put in some insulation. You know, I've just glued these things on their ceiling tiles and wall tiles to baffle the sound.
I think it's good what you do.
It's cozy. That's all I can say. And in the winter, that CPU generates enough heat that keeps me warm down here. But anyway.
I don't know how you play the guitar back there, like how you do that. Or
well,
do you
I
play
have
it over here.
This is a good point. So since I reconfigured this, which has been only a few months, I think it was during the last year of, the last year of COVID, that I decided I would get this ready. This is my engineering side of things. I sit behind the double monitor with my goal of having the 3 split screens because
and all your propaganda books that are all there, so that I can read them.
Oh yeah, there they are. Propaganda books. Well, maybe one of them you might consider that.
Yeah.
How about that title?
Why Christianity Must Change or Die.
Bishop Spong, American, Episcopalian. I never liked him. And then I started to read him, and I thought, this is interesting.
I'm starting to like this guy.
So I started reading more and more. And anyway, he's right about change because, like we say about the pillars of the community, if you're stuck, you're holding everything up. And progress and change is what life is all about. As we comb our thinly hair.
What, you have hair?
I have. And then we adjust our pants, and we need the Joey Tribbiani meat pants.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'll have you know I still only have a 30 whatever weight. Yeah, bull crap. It's just, I'm wearing my pants below my belly.
You mean you shifted to the 4-0?
Oh, I'm exactly what I never wanted to be. Couldn't understand how anybody get like that.
Yeah.
But I'm there. And
age,
you know what?
Age does that.
Just
change
gorgeous
does that.
too. Look at me. I mean, what a figure of a man.
It's good that you hide it under multiple layers of hoodies and vests and things.
Well, it's better in the winter, isn't it? Hey, you know, because as you say, I got a hoodie on and a raincoat on.
We look like bowling pins.
Yeah.
Wear these big puffy jackets, and they'll never tell that there's. We're really that size. Anyway, okay, where are we going with this thing? I was going to start with a little Canadian content and talk about things that are up close and personal. Up close meaning there's still some stuff going on regarding the anti-vax, anti-mask, anti-Trudeau, F this, flag-waving stuff going on here in our little community. And so when it's up close and personal, I tend to sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit more open space. I mean, I see it's funny because now I was talking to somebody. It seems like whenever there's somebody flying a flag, there you automatically assume.
I duck.
Yeah, you automatically
run for cover.
You automatically assume they're part of the of that movement, the freedom movement.
Convoy.
And so, if I put a flag up in my house, does that draw everybody who believes that way? Because
it's a signal.
I believe a little bit differently. Well, a lot differently, I think, if you put it down to the extreme right. Yes, I do believe quite a bit differently than them. We were talking about there's an inquiry into how
Emergency Measures Act.
Yeah, the Emergencies Measure Act was why and how.
Yeah.
It isn't a legal thing. But it should be, as you said.
It's written
it
into
should
the
be
act.
something looked into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you invoke the act, you must have a follow-up to explain why it was used, how it was used, and changes that might be recommended for the next time.
And these are things that other countries that aren't free don't have.
No.
So we have this freedom, same as we have a freedom to elect another government should this one,
Yes.
if it proves that this one really mishandled that situation. Now I'm for one that I actually wanted that in there, and I know to the chagrin of some of my friends, I actually wanted them to evoke the
Emergency
Measures Act. And I look at it this way, and I bet you we're going to run out of time. But I watched the video of a cop trying to talk somebody out of their car. The guy was definitely needed to get out of his car. His car, he didn't have a license or something. He couldn't take the car any further. The guy just wouldn't. And forever and ever and ever, these two cops are trying to talk this guy out of it. Come on out. This doesn't have to end in jail.
Right.
But we need you to leave your car. And then eventually he had to get arrested. And the cop was saying this was so stupid,
it was avoidable.
Uncalled for,
Yep.
very avoidable. And but you did it. I look at it that way when it came to this protest that took place in Ottawa. They came in to set up shop. They brought in places to swim and shops and everything. They weren't going anywhere. There was no settling of this. Protesting is a fine and wonderful thing that we'll always support, whatever your thing is.
Freedom of expression.
Freedom of expression, but not the freedom to ruin other people's lives. And your own wife ran into a bit of a prejudice against those who are a little bit more cautious than others.
I'm not going to give the details of the location or the people involved, just to say that it was a confrontation because my wife, bless her, continues to wear a mask inside the confines of a small operation. She's an employee, so she wears her mask. She has us at home that she wants to come home safe and sound to, doesn't want to spread anything. And we have her mother that we care for as well. And so we don't want to spread anything unintentionally that way as well. So she continues to wear the mask. And the confrontation was innocent enough in the way it started, but bullying starts this way, with a mocking remark about the mask. And that started the conversation, which remained, again, kudos to my wife for maintaining the Conehead, maintain no tones, maintain no tones. So those who have not seen the Conehead movie with Dan Aykroyd for some time, go back and check it out and you'll see what I'm referring to.
Yes.
The importance of, if you want to get into a dialogue or discussion, you can't start raising your voice and yelling.
And this is why I avoid a lot of the conversations now. I really do. I have no time for it. I understand people can want what they want. That's not my point. But if someone simply decides that they want to wear a mask, they should not be bullied at all by anybody. That's just not the way this should be going down. And we're starting to develop such a hateful society. It's really starting to annoy me. It's bothering me in politics. It's bothering me in simple things like somebody want to be extra cautious, let them be extra cautious. You don't even know lots of times. They may be wearing it for a completely different reason. Mm-hmm. You know, they may have other issues. They may have the flu, and they're just simply trying to protect you from them.
Or they're sticking their tongue out at you behind a mask, and you don't even know it. I sort of like that. I like the incognito part of wearing a mask myself. So, again, I carry it in the car, and I think in light of the fall approaching and more people being indoors more often than outdoors, I think I'm going to start wearing it in the supermarket as well. I noticed that that's been a downturn during the summer, and that's fine. And I did that myself. But caution, I don't want to throw it to the wind. I want to be cautious.
The good thing with that is, if you stop and think about it, and I probably won't practice it, but if we took the measures every fall, as we did for COVID, and I don't mean isolation, but washing your hands, wearing a mask, you'd probably have a way less flu rate.
Yeah. Get
Just
rid of
makes
the
sense,
contagions.
doesn't
We'll
it?
all be healthier for doing some cautionary tales. The Jim and Terry show. Jim and Terry.
Jerry, what?
We'll carry on in the next Jim and Terry show. Bye-bye for now.
I didn't know you were dyslexic too.